Hey there, YouTube land, and today I wanted to do something kind of that's hopefully helpful. I want to do something a little bit different. Well, not different, something I've done before, really. And that's to showcase my arrow collection, but I'm doing it for a different reason. I had originally planned to wait till all my arrows that I had ordered from the arrow sale, there's 7 in total, came in, and basically do a big overview of my entire arrow collection. But I know that some people out there are just started collecting arrow, or maybe this sale is the first time they're going to be getting it. In case you don't know what I'm talking about, Arrow Video is a UK company that puts out a lot of really cool genre titles, which we're going to look at. And basically, I have a fairly decent size arrow collection, not anything compared to some people. But what I'm going to do is, like, if you're looking into arrow and you want to know some stuff, maybe that you want to pick up the sale, or you may just want to pick them on the site itself. We're going to go through them here. I'm going to tell you what I think of them, and I'm going to be completely honest. And let's look into these films. I'm going to start with the DVDs first. I'm going to get to Blu-rays after. A couple of these may actually be able to print or be very expensive right now. If I know that the arrow, I'll make a notation of that as we go along. The first one here, I guess the first one I picked up is not first one I picked. The first one I picked up there is the Card Player. Card Player I picked up because, I'll be honest with you, the cover is really nice, and I'm a big fan of Argento. It is not one of Argento's best films, but it's not one of his worst either. It's up there with some of his worst. Dracula 3D is his worst film, but again, I will watch a bad Argento film over a good, boring film. Now, this one here has doesn't have a lot with it. It basically has kind of a small making of promo thing, and basically a bunch of trailers for more general stuff. All these arrow things, by the way, especially this early stuff, would have with, of course, the booklet, and as well as a big poster. So this one here, there's a poster of this that folds out on the inside. So if you're not familiar with Arrow, their booklets, they do kind of a Screen Factory criterion of the. If Screen Factory put posters with their stuff, which would be awesome, rather than having to send away and get them. But Arrow does, and well, for some of their stuff. So would I pick it up? If you're a diehard Argento fan, you haven't got it yet, it's one to go for to complete your collection. But if you're not, wait and pick up some of the more impressive ones that you're going to see here. Next up is Beyond the ReAnimator. This can be found in 2 ways: on its own, or in the Fantastic Factory box set. I wish I had gotten it in the Fantastic Factory box set, but I do have it on its own, and it's not one I'm going to get rid of because, well, if you've ever seen my channel, you know that I got to meet and talk to Jeffrey Combs for quite a while, and he autographed the hell out of this and the poster on the inside and everything. So, again, very proud to have this one. This is a really good one. Beyond ReAnimator is not my favorite ReAnimator film. It's my second favorite. It's like Bride goes, maybe just, well, it's hard to say. ReAnimator is awesome, and then Bride and Beyond are pretty much, I guess, even keel, with Beyond being a little bit better in my opinion. But what this one has on it is that it has basically All in the Head, Brian Yuzna on the ReAnimator Chronicles, 50 minutes, and that doesn't say much, but what it really is it talks about every ReAnimator film. The first one, the Bride, Beyond, and it talks about all the films that were going to be made that didn't get made after all. And that's a really fantastic feature to have. Can you imagine watching Jason vs. Freddy and just have them go really in depth? And like, remember the Fango article that I think might have been actually 2 parts that talked about all the Jason vs. Freddy's that didn't happen? Well, this one here talks about all the ReAnimator films that happened and all the ReAnimator films that didn't happen. And it goes into script details, stuff like that, just some really cool stuff. I highly do recommend this one if you're a fan of ReAnimator at all. Even if this isn't your favorite ReAnimator film, for this feature alone, you really should have this one, and it's not an expensive one to get. If you don't want to get the other Fantastic Factory ones, get this one on its own. This one usually comes fairly cheap. Next up is one that, as far as I know, I think it's at a print or low print right now, but if it's not, I strongly recommend it. A few companies put this one out, but this was my personal favorite version of this film. My father has the other version that came out, the other 2-disc one that came out, and that is Savage Streets. It's 80 revenge actioner starring Linda Blair, and it's just a really great film. The features on this one are fantastic. The poster's great. There's a great booklet on the inside here, and it's loaded with all that there. It's all special features, and I mean it's loaded with special features, and they're really, really interesting special features. Not sure if this one's still on the site, but if you can ever pick that one up, strongly recommend getting that version. And you gotta admit, this is a beautiful freaking cover for this. And it's like always, there is another cover. That's one thing that I haven't been showing you, but as you can see right there, there's always a second cover for all the movies. I have the preferable ones on mine. Next up is Pieces, and Pieces is another really fun film. I think this one gets a bad rap sometimes. It's cheesy, and of course it's corny, but that's what it's supposed to be. And this is a really great edition of this one. I think the first time I watched Pieces was on a really crappy transfer, so it was really, really cool to finally get this one and get like a really good transfer of Pieces. I know that Grimes releasing put out early on with a really nice cover that kind of reminded me of The Shadow. But this has some fantastic features on it, some great stuff. It is a fun film. It's one that I gotta say, I do strongly recommend it. And if you're into this type of movie, if this here, the guy, you know, basically, you don't ever go to Texas for a chainsaw massacre, and it's very cheesy. The ending is out there. This one has probably the worst cover of any that I've gotten, but I just really, this was the reason I started buying an Arrow video. It was the very first Arrow video that I bought. It was Slaughter High. I wanted this film for a long time. It was a very cheesy 80s slasher film, but I really enjoyed it. It's one of those where you watch it the first time and you can basically, there's a hell of a lot of WTF moments, and when you get to the ending, you're like, oh, that's what was going on. And then you can watch it again afterwards, almost right afterwards, and go, okay, this is kind of cool now. Well, that's how I saw it anyway. And really enjoyed this movie. There's some great features on here as well. Just Cameron Monroe was in this film. Beautiful, beautiful girl. Just some great stuff. Again, like interviews, commentaries, just, again, posters and booklets. Wonderful, wonderful stuff. Next up is one I knew zero about when I got it. I got it basically because I was filling out an order, and this one was like, at the time, was extremely cheap. And I think I watched it once, and it's not going to be one that I'm going to watch over again. Not anytime soon, unless I'm doing like a riffing. If I ever do like a riff type thing, I don't think I'd be able to do this one on this channel here, but if I was on, so maybe, I'm maybe working on a website thingy just for fun down the road, where I can put my videos on, put videos that I can't put up on YouTube. And that one would be basically riffing this movie here, Island of Death. It is a horrible, horrible film. I would not recommend this to anybody unless you're really hardcore into this type of kind of shock stuff. It's not that it's overly gory or anything like that, but it does have some disturbing aspects to it. I really do want to get into what these are. I do have some younger people that watch my channel as well, but kids, this is not the film to pick up. And not even for like it's hardcore gore. It's not. It's just got some really weird, questionable things. Is it like a horrible, horrible movie? Pretty much. But did I enjoy it? For bad movie purposes, I enjoyed this one here. Not a recommendation. Next up is one I picked up that didn't have much on it feature-wise at all, but I got it because, again, I am an Argento fan, and I wanted to basically fill up my collection. And it's Two Evil Eyes. I know there is a, I think there's a Blu-ray version of this one as well. Not from this company, but from a stateside company. But I just like the look of this one. I like the way this is done. Just a cool little film. Something to throw on when you're like, kind of bored. Something to watch in the background. It's an anthology film as well, so I really like that part. I would not recommend it unless you're like a hardcore Argento Hooper fan, because those are the guys who work on this one. One to get, but not one of the first ones to get, especially if you're going into to buy some arrows. Next up is an Argento fan that I think is highly underrated film, and I think I do recommend it. It's got a great cover. Art is fantastic on it, and I just really like it. And it's just a film that that resonated with me at the time. I think it was one of his last true great giallo films, and that is Sleepless. Sleepless is an underrated film. Some of the acting isn't the greatest, but it's the type of film that it is. And that being said, we do have Max von Sydow in this, and he does a fantastic role. Von Sydow's character is brilliant, and I would like to have seen the movies just on this character. He's a fantastic character, and the way things were done. This had the Masters of Giallo imprint, something that Arrow for some reason ended up dropping. I'm not sure if they thought, we're the other company, what's the name? I don't have any of their stuff, but I really want bad with the yellow cases. Shameless. That was too close to the kind of stuff they did or not, but they ended up dropping the Masters Giallo thing, and but it looks really cool on here. Masters Giallo, D'Argento, fantastic. I like the movie Sleepless. I'm going to stop this right here, right now. I'm going to get into part 2 of this. So far, my strongest recommendations are from Beyond ReAnimator, Pieces, if you like that type of film, Savage Streets, again, if you like that type of film, and Sleepless, just because I think it's a fun film. So I'm going to upload this one here, grab myself some tea, and then we're going to start the next one. I hope you guys enjoy this and get something out of it. So if you're ordering some Arrow, don't worry, there's some Blu-rays coming up as well, and we're going to look at some box sets too, and some stuff that I really think you should be ordering, but I'm just doing it as a grab. Thanks for watching, guys, and for me right now, my voice is going, and I don't have to go before I get all these videos done tonight, so it's time for tea.